G'day crew. I had planned to get this video up last weekend, but with the driveway getting redone, I couldn't get my boat out of the yard until late in the week, and I didn't want to do a rush job on the editing, so here it is now. This trip was planned to be an overnighter, starting off with dropping the pots, doing some trolling for mackerel, collecting some live bait, and doing some bottom bashing, and anchoring up to sleep for the night, rinse and repeat. But when I finished editing the video, it was just over an hour, which I think is way too long for a YouTube video. I'm going to start this video at the fowl ground after I'd finished trolling. I'll get one up on the mackerel trolling, along with tips etc. next week. There were already a couple of boats fishing there when I arrived, so I had a slow cruise around and was rewarded with a good show on the sounder. What you see here is a very dense school of bait fish with a few predators amongst them. Now, while it is true that wherever there's bait, there's likely to be predators, but let's be honest, this is an embarrassment of riches. No doubt this makes it very easy to pick up some live bait, but if you're going to drop one of them back down with such an abundance of bait down there, you need to have an edge to get the predators to go for your bait instead of some of the free swimming bait. I find that trimming a little bit off the tail of your bait helps in these circumstances. Don't cut too much off. I generally take about a third of the tail off, certainly never more than a half. The idea here is that your bait is going to try and swim, and with part of its tail gone, it's going to have to try a lot harder in order to swim. The extra commotion that it makes by trying to swim harder is going to give out the vibrations of a wounded bait fish and hopefully attract the predators to your bait rather than some of the others. The theory behind this is that a predator is never going to expend more energy to get a feed than is absolutely necessary. So if your bait fish is sounding like a wounded bait fish that can't swim very fast, that's going to attract the predator. You're gone again. Jesus, we'll need some more. Let's run through. Okay. Oh, keeper, I think. Not huge, but she's a keeper. Oh, come on. There's the boy in there. Yeah, he's big enough to worth keeping, that one. Sit there from that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 40, 44, 43 and a half. He's not enormous, 43 and a half, but he'll make a nice feed. Nice pan size anyway. I'll rain spike him and bleed him. Ah. Oh, that's still funny. How's that for a catch? Given the enormous amount of bait down there, I felt there was too much competition from the other bait for me to do really well fishing at the foul ground. So my aim here was to get enough bait so that I could fish on into the night somewhere else. It's not that my baits weren't getting taken here, they were, but I wasn't getting the hookups, so I suspect that there are a lot of smaller models down there having a feed and avoiding the hook. Oh, tight down here now.
Okay, well that's all I want for a bit.
I did get one really decent bite as I wound in to check the bait, but again it missed the hooks, and even pausing the line didn't entice it to have another go. Anyway, with enough liveys on board for fishing into the night, I headed over to Harry's. I pulled up on one of the wrecks at Harry's and positioned my boat so that the current would take my bait back toward the wreck.
It's worth investing in a pair of these gloves for no other reason than it keeps your back of your hands from being too sunburnt. And that sun's got a bit of bite in it. So we've got my hooks. What on here? No, not there, not there. Here. Whoops, a daisy. No. Have I got you or not? Yeah, I think I have got you. Not big. Whatever you are. What are you? Oh, well, we got a tailor. Well, don't you bite me off before I get you on the board. Ah, got ya. It's a nice sized tailor. In the mixed bag this time. Okay. Right. Now, where are you? You are 37. That's legal for a tailor. I'm leaving my engine run because I need to put a bit of charge back in the batteries. Let's check how that's going. Oh, okay. If I don't get some charge back in it, won't be staying out tonight. I may have to consider doing some trolling. So I put 3 hooks on this rig because I'm going to use it for the pike. So Snell rig, but with 3 hooks on it, so I can get them along the length of the pike. And if I need a sinker on it, I'll use a click sinker. But at the moment, I don't think I do. You got a bit of life in you? Yeah, you seem pretty good. I might need some more weight on them. I've got 4. I've got a 4 on there. 2 on there, so I've got 4 on with it. Right. There we go. And that comes, I might pull him in, put another sinker on. I think he's a bit of current, more than I expected. There, he's up. He's right up near the surface. I think that one will be too. Yeah, that goes. Okay, we is on. Oh, it's a nice fish too, this one. Oh, bloody hell. They bite me off. What happened? Yeah. Oh, hang on. I'm not far off a big bit of structure. I'll bet that thing got me into the structure. That's what broke it, and that's why it's so abraded. Ah, okay. So it could have been a big snapper. Dang. Lose everything up to about there. Huh, I just finished making that. Why couldn't you have got on the other rod? I might have stopped you then. Oh, shit. Could feel that. Yeah. Got me in the structure. Either one. Couldn't stop it. Had a bit of head shake on it. Liveys, heap of them out at the foul ground. Yeah. Hey? Yeah, heap of it. Pike, yakkers, a few slimies. Yeah, there was heaps of pike there at the end. There was heaps of pike there at the end, but I was getting a bit of variety before that. Yeah, they love it. Hey? That was my bait. No, not today. Which one was that? This one, I think. It's not real big, but I got something anyway. Unless it's just a bait. Still kicking. Could be. That's what it is, alright. Oh no, something's got him. What have we got on there? Oh, little tailor. Oh, well, he came into the bait anyway. Sort him out in a minute. He's too small. He's undersized. There's only 31. Oh, not again. Get on the other rod, for Christ's sake.
This is the track for the trip. I used about 80 litres of fuel for the trip, including several hours of running the engine to charge the batteries. I dropped the pots when I first went out and fished into the evening at Harry's. Unfortunately, I didn't do any better once it got dark than I did during the day. I did have a couple of good hookups, but once again I was busted off when they got into the structure. By the time I was ready to call it quits on the fishing, the wind was starting to come up a bit. It would have still been fine to stay at Harry's, but having had several bad experiences with inaccurate forecasts, I decided to retreat to Horseshoe Bay for the night, just in case. The trip from Harry's down to Horseshoe Bay took about an hour in the dark. I don't travel very fast at night when I can't see what's in the water right in front of me. By the time I got to Horseshoe Bay, I was pretty much ready for bed, so I didn't even bother trying to get some squid. As it turned out, the night was calm as, so I could have comfortably stayed at Harry's, but as they say, discretion is the better part of valour, and having been caught out in really bad weather a few times, it's best to seek shelter when you can, just in case. The next morning was pristine.
Oh, and there's the sunrise coming up, just poking its head over Stradbroke. Oh, nothing like sunrise on the water, particularly when it's as glassy as this. Beautiful. Got to enjoy the little things in life. Okay, that's a take home from the trip. 1 mackerel, 1 snapper, 1 tailor and 5 crabs. Heap of crabs in the pots, but mostly jennies.
Every fishing trip is a learning experience, and what did I learn from this one? We already know that live bait works, and again I just confirmed another thing that we already know: bigger bait attracts bigger predators. Now, pike is a fairly big bait to use, and it attracted the biggest bites that I had on the trip. And the other things on this trip was that you can't stop a big predator with 6 pound of drag. Or, looked at another way, I was fishing way too close to the structure for 6 pound of drag to have time to work. And by saying that the drag had time to work, even a 1 pound drag will tire a fish out eventually if you have enough line on your spool and he doesn't break you off on something first. So that's what I mean by having time to work. He's got to be able to run long enough to get tired so that you can haul him back. And you can do that on any drag setting given enough fishing line. On this occasion I was fishing 2 rods. I was fishing a light rod. It's a Shimano rod with a 20 pound grappler braid on it, 20 pound Troll Pro leader, and I had triple snelled 8/0 hooks on there. Because I was using pike, I was putting 3 hooks in the snell. The drag on that rod was set to 6 pound. The other rod was a Shimano Therese with a Penn Slammer reel, spooled with 40 pound Power Pro braid and 40 pound Troll Pro leader. And again it had triple snelled 8/0 hooks on it. The drag on that rod was set to 12 pound. You hear a lot about fish not liking heavy line and that you should fish as light as you can. But to be honest, I really can't see that being correct because, let's face it, any fish that's stupid enough to bite on a plastic lure isn't going to be fazed by a bit of fishing line. Now that said, I was just not 100% convinced that I was correct there, so for the past year or so I have been fishing quite a lot lighter just to see what happens. Like previously, I would fish probably 30, 40, 50 pound minimum on most of my rods, but now I'm fishing a few rods with 15 to 20 pound braid on them. And since I've been doing it, I have to say that I think I have been getting more bites and hookups on the lighter gear. But it's not all beer and roses. Because the gear is lighter, I also get broken off a lot more. And by broken off, I mean either bitten off or rubbed off on their teeth or dragged through the structural rocks or something on the bottom and broken off, because the heavier line will withstand a lot more of that than the really light line. So for that reason, the virtues of fishing lighter line is a bit of a double-edged sword. Yes, I do believe that I am getting more bites and more hookups on the lighter line. I'm also getting busted off more. At least with the heavier line, I've got a better chance of landing the fish. I haven't quite made up my mind which way I'm going to fall on this issue. I'll just keep experimenting and see how it goes. With all that said, I am all for using the lightest possible sinker that puts your bait where you want it. I think having the bait float down slowly entices more bites. Thinking about it as I edit this video, I got all the good bites at Harry's on the light line, but that was also the rod that was on the starboard side of the boat. Just about everyone will have had the experience of being in a boat where all the fish are caught by the guy sitting in one spot, despite everyone having similar rigs and using the same bait. What I should have done while I was out there was swap the rods around to see if I could get a bite on the heavier rod on the starboard side of the boat. Then I had a chance of getting it in. But I didn't think of that at the time. I did get a heap of crabs in the pots, but most were jennies this time and had to be thrown back. The good news is that the majority of them were carrying eggs, so we should be in for a good season in the future. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you got something useful out of it. Until next time, good fishing.